when someone is directing negative judgment toward you and trying to destroy your character and make you seem like a bad person or a little insignificant being in this vast world of better things and better people than you, and they're pointing out your mistakes, don't react.
Get up, everybody move.
Hey, what's up everybody? Soul Expression here, your host for the series Get Your Mind Right. And on this episode of Get Your Mind Right, I want to piggyback off of a recent video that I did on judgment. And I want to talk a little bit about how you can respond responsibly, right? You can be response-able when someone is showing you negative judgment. Because it's not enough to necessarily, just try and shut off all of your judgments mentally and emotionally. I mean, if you can, that will be enough. But for most of us and for people, in the beginning stages of expanding their consciousness and awareness and self-awareness, it's not going to be enough to just say to somebody, don't be judgmental and don't judge, and to, remember that what you bring up is also what you bring in, meaning what you express, especially out loud, is what you're inviting to be expressed to yourself. Sometimes we need a little bit more than that. And so if someone is sending negative judgment toward you, right? If they're trying to destroy your character by judging your mistakes, you don't have to always seek to support yourself by giving them, reasons and telling them the reasons why you should be praised instead of judged negatively. Right? You don't have to, when someone tries to destroy your character by criticizing your mistakes, don't try and defend yourself by pointing out your successes and your triumphs. Simply, you can say, you really don't even know my true mistakes, because if you did, you would have chosen to talk about them instead. Or statements like that. Statements like, I'm actually a lot worse than what you make me out to be. Thank you for your compliment, sort of implying through your criticism that this is the worst that I've done, because I've done much worse than this and I'm still working on myself. So thank you for your compliment. And you can empower yourself instead of trying to defend yourself. You see, when you receive judgment and you automatically defend yourself, it's like you give power to the idea that what they're saying might be true. When it's negative judgment, it's never true. It's never true. Even, basically the implication that you are worse than they are because you have done mistake number 1 and mistake number 2, that is never true. Okay? By the way, I'm pretty close to the road for this video, so I'll try to speak up, but I apologize if the cars and stuff are making a whole lot of noise and such. So anyway, you don't have to, when you defend yourself automatically and you don't give yourself time to accept that this person is sending you judgment and that you don't have to react, but you do have the power to respond responsibly, and you can be response-able. And, you simply give yourself a second to think creatively about what they're saying. Then you can empower yourself through your response to any amount of judgment, to any amount of criticism, and to any amount of self-criticism, right? Sometimes we're not even judged by other people, we're judged by ourselves. We hear a train of thought that's just negative self-talk, and we just let it go. I shouldn't have done that. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't be living how I am. If I wasn't living how I am, then I would be happier. And I suck for not being happier. And this it sounds silly when I say it like that, but this is what we do to ourselves. Like literally a lot of days out the week, we are doing this multiple times a day. And so when you receive and you can hear this negative self-talk going on in your mind, you can choose, right, to replace these thoughts with creative, empowering thoughts, self-empowerment through, self-suggestion, basically. And there is profound power in that. When that becomes a habit for you, then what you start doing is you start losing the fear of criticism. And when you lose the fear of criticism totally, then you're able to go like full force toward your dreams and your passions, you know, in improving your talent in what you are passionate about, right? And your skill set. And you're just able to go. You're able to be in flow, in long-term flow with everything that you do towards your deepest desires, because you don't have a fear of someone coming and criticizing you along the way, because you know that is probably going to happen anyway, but it'll never stop you. Fix my mustache. If there is any fixing this mustache. This is a hell of a mustache, ain't it? I'm really glad that I have my mustache. I know this is not a video about mustaches. I'm proud of my mustache. I love it. Anyway, you know, so just wanted to point that out, that, you know, when someone is directing negative judgment toward you and trying to destroy your character and make you seem like a bad person or a little insignificant being in this vast world of better things and better people than you, you know, and they're pointing out your mistakes, don't react by trying to defend yourself and give power to their negative judgment and say, you know, it might be true. It's only not true if I can defend myself. No, it's not true, period. And give yourself a second to think creatively. If nothing comes up, then simply ignore them and you know, work on improving your responses by simply self-suggesting empowering thoughts in your own time. And then two, if you think of something creatively, then tell them, you know, hey, you really have no idea about my life, because if you did, you would have pointed out my real mistakes and not these little petty mistakes that you're talking about here. I've done a lot worse than this, but God's not through with me yet, and I'm still working on myself. And you know, we all have a long way to go, but your judgment holds no truth, because because it really puts me on a higher pedestal than where I really should be if my mistakes were the thing that you can judge my life off of. Which, of course, your mistakes are just one aspect of your life. Without your mistakes, you wouldn't have any successes, because that's what makes you a success, is by overcoming your mistakes and overcoming your shortcomings. So once again, my name is Soul Expression. I hope that this sheds some more light on how to respond to judgment responsibly, meaning when you're responsible, or you're able to make a creative response and self-empower, or get self-empowerment from any form of potential judgment. And yeah, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace and love. So if you're new to Ufulu Child, make sure you subscribe to get more mind mastery content dropped straight into your YouTube feed. If you enjoyed today's episode of Get Your Mind Right, let me know by clicking that like button, and I can't wait to see you all in the next video. Peace and love.